of this. And in fact, this might be one of the biggest reasons why I do not want to deal with YouTube. I have a pretty lengthy list of reasons why, but one of them is that 9 out of the 10 times that I do come forward and I produce content, and in particular, I go live, I typically don't see the live show up. It does not come through on my feed. It does not come through in my playlist. You cannot find it later. Or, for instance, I just delivered an urgent message and I checked back to see, and only 4 minutes of it is actually published out of a 30-minute urgent message video. So I am going to try again because I have to get this message out because don't want to be um, I don't want to be that person that gets the messages and doesn't deliver them. Um, I get messages all day, every day, but sometimes they add up into a bigger message. And a lot of times I do not give away my wealth. I do not share everything I know unless it's absolutely pertinent, or unless you are participating and actively, creating with me. So last night I was with a group of friends. There were 6 of us, and everyone knows the power of six. And uh, the 6 of us were actually they were waiting for me. I was the last to join, and when I arrived, we were catching up on. We just kind of was going around the circle and catching up on the day. We were all expressing ourselves, and I actually interrupted the circle, so to speak, because I was receiving a notification. I didn't intentionally interrupt the circle or interrupt anybody in particular. It was a moment of silence, and I broke that silence with an oohing and awing and deep breathing. I just kind of kept it to I thought I was keeping it to myself, but I was called out into the circle to explain what was going on. So I wasn't able to hide it. They saw me, and so I was busted. I was receiving an actual notification on my watch I believe it was from the Citizens app. And if you're familiar with the Citizens app, awesome. If not, I definitely and highly recommend that you download it, and you'll find out why. It's an excellent app to kind of have a 3D perspective of the darker side of things going on in your immediate environment. It's free, or you can upgrade to the premium, and I think it starts like $5.99. It's worth it. All right, so I'm taking my time. I'm staying close to the computer. I'm trying to make sure that this message is delivered. Unfortunately, this is my second time trying to reiterate this information. So bear with me. So I received a lot of signs and synchronicities. Oh, really, since I was 9 years old, I've been putting together something like a package, okay? And it seems like I'm getting all the pieces. And I started to realize a significance about, or the truth, I've been seeking the truth about how much and in what context is our American story or our American history and dream a copy of the Egyptian. That's something that as a child I already knew the truth, but I've been looking for the material evidence. Anyway, so over the last couple of generations, I've been getting some of that information. And because of that desire within me to already know that stuff, I was able to translate this incoming information very easily and very quickly. All right. So on September, let me get to the actual notes. And then in the last video, I was explaining and apologizing. I've been really crappy at keeping notes lately, because of the new spiritual gifts that I have. I don't really need to take notes. And I've been destroying a lot of the notes that I've been keeping because there's so much information. So, and the things that I don't need, what I do is I kind of write it into my DNA and let it go. So with these particular notes, let me get here. I've been starting to uncover that the FBI is essentially going to do a major bust in Tennessee, right here. I don't know who this is going to affect. I don't know who needs to hear this, but UCC code 1308 may actually either help or not help. I don't know. I didn't get the chance to do research on this in particular. So write this down if you're interested, if you're in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, and an area in Texas. I have not pinpointed exactly what is the area in Texas, but Texas is about to get a major influx. I got UC, I got 420, GI Joe. This is, I guess, maybe federal troops coming in and shutting down and interfering and stopping a lot of the weed business. A lot of dealers are going to get busted. A lot of the undercover stuff is going to come out. A lot of busts are going to happen. This is going to be in Texas. So this could help you if you're in a situation, or maybe you potentially could be affected, or know someone who might be, or just want to, tag along and do the research. I apologize for the noise in the background. I'm actually brewing a pot of coffee as we speak. It just finished, so it's about to simmer down. Actually, it's done. Okay, so UCC code 1308. Check that out. Also, UCC Joe. I don't know what the letters Joe are in numbers. No, okay, the other one is 313, 41577, and I got the word Holt. Holt. Holt is only significant to me because I'm friends with Nikki, John Holt's daughter, the Jamaican legend, John Holt. I don't know him. I didn't meet him. I love his music. He's the one who I think he wrote um, Ganja Farmer and performed that for us, and he's a legend because of that. Anyway, I'm friends with his daughter, Nikki Holt. So that is the only significance for that for me. So I tried to draw on my relationship with her, my friendship, her experience, her losses, my losses, and what brought us together, and what was the significance of that dynamic to try to get information from this. And I had a really hard time pulling anything in particular. Nikki Holt is a wonderful personality. I didn't get anything negative from that experience. Everything was positive. So I said, well, if that is all I have in relative to hope to draw from, this has to be a positive energy. The only thing I have to put in it is positivity. So 777, as we know, is exponential abundance and positivity. 415 is a number of creation. And 31 and 3 is a number of ascended masters coming together to form a new beginning. So something amazing. This is new world order shit coming right now on a federal level, into the Tennessee area, and it's gonna be, I mean, bigger than for the history books. And the other synchronicities I was getting, I was pretty much done with that one. And trying, oh, sorry, I was doing some research trying to figure out, but I was doing it telepathically. I was not doing it on a computer. I didn't use a computer. I was doing it telepathically, trying to figure out specifically what UC Joe is trying to tell me. Like I said, I still have not done the mathematical figure or formulation to figure out what does Joe spell out numerically. I didn't do that yet, and I'm not going to do that now. But in my meditative research, I came up with the word kepara or keparai, and it kept on it kept on sort of resounding within me, and I felt a really strong desire to stand in front of the mirror and say that, but I was really afraid of doing that act because I didn't know the word consciously, but subconsciously I did. It was very well hidden in my DNA. So I did have to refer to Google. I looked it up. I found the true meaning of it. And in Heka, which I am a reincarnation of Heka refers to Kepara or Keparai as a word, and that's the only thing that was captured in the last video. Out of 33 minutes, the first 20 minutes, I was teaching about the word Kepara. Kepara or Keparai is basically a statement that I become the sun. And it's like I remembered something. When I started saying this in the mirror, I started to saying it again after I had looked it up and I understood what it meant. I started to remember usage of the word, and it is in my moratic loop. And so, if it's not in yours, I think this is something that you may want to put into your loop. All right. Um, when you say I become the sun, it means that you become the God. You're recognizing your consciousness of a God. But on a DNA cellular level, you're also telling your body that you are the sun. You're telling your body that you are in power. You're telling your circumstances you are in power. You're telling your life, your existence, your aura that you are in power, that you are the sun. When you explain to yourself, Kepara, Keparai, and you use this as a meditative practice, for instance, like I remembered using a mirror loop. When you do it in this particular manner, you always win spiritually. You're always the sun spiritually. You'll always be the antidote or have the antidote or the answer within your aura. It'll always be in you. So what you want to do is to implement this in some way, shape, or form into a practice. That way it's imprinted into your DNA. Kapara or Keparai. Very easy to say I am Keparai. I am Keparai, whichever you prefer, or remember using. All right. So after that, and that's where the other video kind of stopped. After that, I started to get more information on the Joe, and I got 420 GI Joe. 420 is the reiteration and confirmation that this has to do with marijuana, with legalization. Maybe it's the laws, maybe it's the profitization of the middleman and the little man. I don't know, but G.I. Joe tells me that National Guard or National Enforcement is coming in and coming up against us. So I don't know if they're going to challenge that. I asked for more clarity, and I got OWE, as in somebody owes somebody. So I got a feeling that Tennessee is going to be under uh, major suppression in this area because of some sort of owed debt potentially. And then I got 285, which equals 6. So there was an agreement that maybe is not being kept. I don't know. It could be between federal and it could be between states. But in Tennessee, there's, the message was there's going to be a huge federal explosion, and the only thing that's going to save these people involved potentially could be UCC 1308. So last night, sorry, wait a minute, I'm leaving something out very important. Um, After getting the 285, which equals 6, I got Texas, I got Shine, and I got 0902. So if you add 09 and 02, you get 11, which is the number of justice, a number of weighing, a number of Anubis. So Anubis is scheduled to arrive in Texas right away and Shine. I did have some positive energy here, but these are also some I don't, it's not necessarily negative, but it's a balancing of negative and positive energy. But I was supposed to, 2 days ago, I was supposed to deliver this message. 2 days ago, I was specifically told, once I got this last code, which I'm about to read to you now, is RJ4 and win, WIN. Um, After I got this message, I said, okay, what next? And I saw a billboard that literally said something, and then the second sentence to it was talk about it. I forget what the top sentence said, and I did not write it down. I was driving too fast. So I knew 2 days ago when I saw that billboard, oh my God, I have to go online. I have to go on YouTube, and I literally have to share this message. I'm not supposed to keep this information. So I realized it is urgent, it's serious, it's not a bunch of nothing. All right. So I didn't do it. 2 days ago, I simply didn't do it. I was busy. I got the message. I knew I was supposed to do it, but I didn't do it. I was incredibly busy. But when I was standing there in front of all my friends last night, I was embarrassed because I got put on the spot in front of all of them. There were six of us there. So there's five of them and one of me. And I got the messages coming through that the FBI was literally doing huge busts in Texas. And I stood still and I breathed hard and I made a few mumbling noises and everyone was like, what's up? What's up? And I had to explain. I said, I have a notebook and I could show you right now. I said, I have a lot of notes. I was taking notes. And I said, but over the last few generations, I've been getting information and understanding about some things. I said, and I got notes and a specific warning to share this message. And I didn't share the message. And I said, and I'm looking at a notification that is the summary of all of my message or my messages, my signs and my synchronicities. And I said, and I feel like shit right now. I said, because I was supposed to share this and I did not. And so it was good because I was used to literally teach the five of them the importance of trusting your signs and synchronicities, to paying attention to them and to documenting them or having some sort of system. It doesn't matter if you document them or not, but you got to have some sort of system where you can fall back on this information. And so I was able to introduce my spirituality very, 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 very carefully into my new friend group, which was great. And I found out they are 100% on the same page with me. And the other thing is, I also realized that I was consciously choosing to ignore a divine instruction to deliver a message, and I didn't. And 2 days made a huge difference. And if I would have given that message, maybe I would have been able to give the right people the right information. But the only thing that I have here that is helpful is the UCC 1308 and Holt. So whatever you can pick up from John Holt, maybe you need to listen to John Holt this morning. I don't know. 415 is a number of creation, and you got 777 313 working with ascended masters for a new beginning. So using the Kepra, whatever light is going to be shined on Texas, it's going to affect a lot of metropolis areas. But there's going to be a huge win. I don't know if it's for the Americas. I don't know if it's for the people. I don't know if it's for a corporation or for an individual. I don't know, but I do know that I was on that frequency. I received these messages and times and synchronicities out of the side of my neck because I was already on that frequency trying to figure out something else. So the bottom line is 777 pops up. Once here with the numbers, what was it, 415, and then again at 77 and 11 in the color pink. So you do with that as you will, but it is an urgent message. There's going to be a huge federal crackdown on Texas. It already began yesterday. I was supposed to tell you about it 2 days ago. Well, this morning is actually 3 days now. I was supposed to stay 3 days ago, and I didn't. And last night it actually previously already happened. So I'm a day late. Well, I'm 3 days late delivering the message, and you're a day late from it actually happening. So I'm a couple dollars late, or I'm a dollar late and a couple days short, but the message has been delivered. The other thing I wanted you to know is that Memphis, Tennessee was the other thing that I was getting really huge signs and synchronicities on. And I did literally have to do some research on that because this is the one that I was getting generational messages about. It's taken me about 3 generations to get a bunch of signs and synchronicities and to have my questions answered on the inside because I still had to evolve spiritually. I wasn't able to, to proceed as well as I do now. So what I was trying to figure out is a lot about the America and Egyptian or Egypt stories, Egyptology. How much of that is stolen? How much of that I truly resonate with, or how much of that I was actually taught and learned? I'm trying to decipher the differences between all of them. And in that journey, I've come to the realization, or I was able to actually translate a message from Memphis, Tennessee, in reference to the voodoo. So this is something that was left out on the previous live video. It's really important that I get this message. They are shadow banning me. I'm being shadow banned by my demonic daughter, who has basically sold me to become a star, and her father is basically selling both of us to capitalize on that as well. I'm dealing with a lot of spiritual warfare, and that's just one of the contracts against me that I stand tall against that. Again, I'm in the position of winning, but this is something that I'm going through. These people are literally paying to have their shadow banned. So I deal with that on the channel. I am trying again to get this video through. If the message doesn't get through as a video, at least you are participating here in a live. It will tell me in the live I have X, Y, and Z numbers watching, but once the live is actually published, it'll tell me I have no views. So I know it's not true. There's a couple hundred people in here sometimes. Sometimes there's two, three, four, or five people. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just got to do my fiduciary responsibility to the universe, and that is to deliver the message. So basically, that's what I'm focused on. So whatever's going on in Memphis, Tennessee. I mean, yeah, is that Memphis, Tennessee? Yeah, we're talking about Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee has basically stolen a legacy and a virtue from Egypt. And Egypt is essentially calling for justice. I guess that's probably the best language I can use to describe um, the tone behind this message. And so Memphis is known in the Americas as the birthplace of voodoo. As far as the Americas are concerned, it's all bullshit. It's all hogwash. But this is what the Satanists want Memphis to be known for as the hub for voodoo, right? So if you want to do voodoo work, if you want to be a voodoo priest, a witch or warlock, or any of that, and you guys, if anyone's drinking coffee, cheers, good morning, cheers, 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 top of the morning to you. Mm. Oh, that is so good. That's mocha magic, baby. Mocha magic. Um, Give me a second, guys. I gotta let my baby in. Come on. Thank you. Good job. Careful. Thank you. So, if you are interested in Memphis, Tennessee, as far as living there, if you're drawn there or attracted there, there could have been a lot of spell work involved in the attraction level. A lot of people come to Memphis to actually seek out spell work or spell workers, witches and warlocks, to perform whatever it is that they want. Well, if Egypt is calling for justice on Memphis, if that were really true, okay, let's let's just assume that it is, and if that were really true, then I would say that Memphis is probably going to suffer in some way, some form, shape, or capacity. What's the matter, baby? Which would mean that everybody, for I don't know how many generations, I don't know how many years, I don't know how many centuries, I don't know, I don't have the answer to that. But for however long Egypt is seeking justice against Memphis, everyone involved, either affected by or soliciting that type of support, who caused the movement to go from spirituality to a negative, dark, black magic voodoo practice, they're all going to have to pay with some sort of karma, good or bad. That's none of my business. It's not for me to decide nor judge. All I'm doing is giving the message. So I was actually Googling stuff about Memphis, and I got from Google that this is, the America's number one place for hoodoo or hoodoo practices. And so in America, I guess if you wanted to do anything uh, really bad to someone or what you think is good, you would go to Memphis. Memphis is the place to go. So, whatever's going to happen in Memphis, I was told to advise people to repent, to clear their conscience, to tell the truth. If you've done something against someone, you need to go to them and tell them. I absolutely resonated with this message. I absolutely resonated with it because of the fact that I am Persephone core. And I know the power of pouring your heart out. I didn't learn my full power until going through this last bout of spiritual warfare. And so I needed that spiritual warfare to awaken me to my power. And I know that when people tell the truth of what they've done against me, that they're able to move forward. They're able to come out of purgatory. And I think that's an energy that we all have in us. I don't think that's individual to Persephone core. I think that's Persephone core's power. And I think as the blueprint of Persephone core, I think the attribute itself is in all of us as an aspect of a prototype. If we done something wrong to someone, and I found, when I reunited with a lot of high school friends, I had to tell the truth about some things that I did to them. And I was cleared, my conscience was cleared, and I felt good. I had best friends in high school, I slept with their boyfriends. And I had to, as an adult, finish college and go back to being friends with these people on an associate level so that hopefully we can be a part of each other's lives, raising kids and going back for reunions and things. I had to have a clear conscience. So I found myself in several different of my friendships having to clear the consciousness and tell the truth of the things that I've done in our friendships behind their back. And so that's why I know that I'm a blueprint of Persephone Core, but I also know that I'm also a part of the prototype too. And I know that we all have that ability because I've had to put that shoe on too. I've had to be that person to confess what I've done. So I encourage you and I implore you to go out there and to have the audacity and the authenticity to tell the people that you wronged what you've done. And I encourage the people because almost everybody in my life has betrayed me. I'm open to receive it. I don't fuck with you no more, and you'll never be a part of my life for most of you. But for some of you, all you got to do is just tell the truth and the whole truth. It will clear you, it will free you, it will love you on the inside. And that's what you need. And that's why judgment is coming to Memphis. But Memphis has caused so much damage to so many people and so many populations because it can be done telepathically, it can be done energetically, it can be done thoughtfully, it can be done in so many secretive ways. There's so many ways to destroy someone, and there are also so many ways to love someone, to build someone up. And unfortunately, Memphis was converted into a place that decided to tear people down. And that's what judgment is being called on. So everything and everyone that participated in that energy is according to these messages, immediately being rounded up, and grounded up so that you could be faced with judgment. And so I can't, I can't, I can't express that enough. Repent. It's best to go to the people, but if you can't, go to God or what you think is God. But you need to clear your palate. You need to release these things. You need to lighten and free your soul so that you can ascend. Without being able to die, you cannot live. And you will have to die by expressing these things. When I told my childhood Bessie that I fucked her man, it broke my heart. I had to humble myself. And you know what she told me? Girl, I already knew. She said, that nigga, everybody wanted you. You were the prettiest girl. You were the smartest girl. I knew he wanted you. And I suspected that that happened. And I forgive you. And I am saved and I am sanctified. And she said all what she said, and she forgave me, and we moved forward. We had a very different relationship from that moment forward. But I wasn't even worthy of that until I had cleared the past by telling the truth. I'm not a perfect being. I've made some mistakes. I've done some trifling shit. I've had to learn. But there's nothing more beautiful to the soul but to tell the truth. So whatever you're involved in, I don't care if your great grandmother was doing it because of something she learned through Memphis or because of somebody who came or went to Memphis and did this or learned this and you got taught generations later. If it came from there, if the attention came from there, you will have to pay for that. You're going to pay for that. And your time is up. Whatever money you've been manifesting off of spirit work, whatever relationships, whatever material, whatever you have been manifesting that does not equate ascension and your relationship to spirit, you will lose. And you're going to pay a dear price for it. It was a lot of messages that I've gotten in a very small period of time, but like I said, it's taken a lot of time to put that Memphis message together because I had to learn some things from childhood. It was 9 years. I was 9 years old when I started asking questions about Egypt. I knew I was being lied to, but it wasn't until I don't know I hit my 40s that I started to see the truth for myself. So I lived a lie for a long time. I fought for my awakening, and I encourage other people to fight for their awakening, just as I'm encouraging you right now to fight for your awakening. You're only going to awaken if you have room to ascend. You only have room to ascend if your body is light enough to rise. I'm not talking about your shape, your weight. I'm talking about the weight of your soul, the weight of your higher heart. I have been in union with my two twin flames, and I have been in union with a karmic twin flame, and I have been in union with a kingdom spouse, and I have been in union with high level soulmates. I get more done with the high level soulmates. The rest of them, they're trapped because they refuse to free their souls. They are still carrying around heavy hearts. They are still betraying people the same way they did in high school. They have not changed. They have not learned. They have not cleared their palate. Are you one of those people? I don't hold any malice or any judgment against them. I move the fuck on. You let them go. You tell the truth. You let them go. You move on. You win. That's right. My baby just took a real deep breath. Like, yes, that's it. Easy. Said. Done. Thank you, baby, for the confirmation. So whatever it is, and whoever you need to talk to, just share it. Write a letter. Write a card. But tell the whole fucking truth. Don't do it for anything except for the love of your soul. Because nothing is more valuable than your soul. And if you keep on giving your soul away for some dick, some pussy, some money, some clout, some favor, an outfit, some shoes, a bag of weed, some drugs, if that's who you are, you're always going to get left behind. You're always going to lose. You're always going to have nothing. And when Memphis goes down by judgment of Egypt, you are a part of that judgment. One of these days I will sit here and go through A to Z how I got to where I'm at right now. Because I have to keep on taking off from the channel so I can go into hiding and learning and realize some things and conquer these little. I got retarded ass people who live next door to. I mean, the most retarded ass people you can imagine who live on the left and the right and in the front and behind and down the block from me. I am surrounded by the most retarded consciousness in the fucking world. And I have to sit here and smile and continue to ascend and be strong and have faith. And so if I can do it, I know you can do it. I have nothing but low consciousness, low vibes, dumbass, retarded people all around me. And I am thriving. And they are not. So if I can do it, you can do it. All you gotta do is tell the truth. Tell the truth, the whole fucking truth, and nothing but the truth. And you shall be set free. I love you. I love you so much. But I don't give a fuck about you. Unless you love yourself. Because I cannot resonate with you. That's why things are the way they are. I love myself enough to be free. I love myself enough to not need a voodoo hoodoo priest in my back pocket to control anything or anyone. I stand in my fucking truth. I stand in my power. I'm unstoppable because you can't see it, because you don't believe it. You challenge me on that. But judgment is here, and you're about to find out if you're on this list or Egypt's list. I really hope this video goes through. I'm going to end it now. I don't know. I'm on a different device, a completely different network with completely different equipment. This is the second time this morning. This one went a few more minutes more. I'll see how it works. I hope it works. If not, I did it twice. I gave the message twice. That was actually 3 messages. So don't forget to get in the mirror. The most important message is to get in the mirror and tell yourself, Kapara, I love you. Kapara, I am the sun. Kapara. And bring some sun into your life. Bring some light into your life. Bring some truth into your life. Bring some growth into your life. Bring some happiness into your life. Bring some fire into your life. Bring some light into your life. And watch and see what happens. Watch and see how wonderful life gets. Good luck with that, y'all. I love you. Go love yourself.